It was a nice Sunday afternoon in Boston, with outside temperature 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Rio, the balloon sailor, was crossing Boston University to sail his balloon. Well, I guess he's not supposed to say it's free. In the meantime,
My detective senses are tingling. Something bad just happened.
Someone murdered all my balloons! Oh, there's also right through every one of them! Can you help me?
Well, I happen to be a detective, so yes, I can. Do you have any evidence?
Here!
I knew it!
What?
Well, because of the longitudinal stresses and hoop stresses in the rubber of the balloons, the murderer doesn't even have to use a knife to slice through them. All he needs is a single pressure point. That means he could have used a weapon as simple as a thumbtack.
Wait, I don't understand. I never go to Professor Holmes' lecture.
Let me explain.
Here we can analyze our balloon as a cylindrical, thin-walled pressure vessel. Here we have sigma 1 and sigma 2, which represent hoop and longitudinal stress in the balloon. We don't have a stress in the thickness, sigma 3, because we could ignore the thickness because the balloon is very thin. First, we can look at the hoop stress. So, we can cut our balloon into a slice and cross-section it so we can look at the stresses inside. We have our slice with a balloon thickness T, a width dy, and a diameter 2r. Now let's do a force balance with hoop stress versus the air pressure. We have the force of sigma 1 on the left side and the pressure force on the right side. As you can see from the diagram, the area that the stress acts over is T dy, while the area that the pressure on the inside, acting on the inner wall of the balloon, is 2r dy. The dy's cancel, as well as the 2, so we get a hoop stress of pr over t, the thickness. Now we can look at the longitudinal stress. In our diagram, we see that the stresses of the balloon working against the internal pressure act in the balloon's cross-section, which is where we just chop the balloon in half, essentially. The pressure, as we can see, acts in an area in the opposing direction over the area of the cross-section of the air inside the balloon. When we do a force balance, in the same way as before, we get an area for the stress of 2 pi RT and of pi RT for the pressure. Overall, we get a longitudinal stress of PR over 2T. So we can see that the hoop stress is twice as big as the longitudinal stress because the thickness used in the hoop stress direction is half as much as for longitudinal, which means the balloon will break first in the hoop stress direction. Because my detective senses told me you were coming, I tested this out in my secret underground laboratory before you got here. As you can see in this video, it really does pop in the longitudinal direction. Up close we can see again that it pops lengthwise along the balloon, as we can see from this very detailed and really slowed down video. This proves our calculations to be correct. This proves our calculations to be correct.
Whoa! Great detective work! This idea of stress could be used for many engineering applications.
this October, a space travel company in Arizona successfully tested their scale model of a helium balloon carrying a capsule of 6 passengers and 2 crews flying to the edge of space. Having a good understanding of seam wall vessel pressure, the designer of the balloon will figure out how the balloon eventually breaks. It is quite possible a more stable balloon geometry could be found out soon to lift the capsule to a higher altitude, so that their balloon could literally reach space, which is 62 miles up.
It's you!
I mean, thanks for watching.